Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video, we're going to go through an article just posted by Warhammer community because something I think is the biggest change we've seen to Warhammer 40k in 10th edition so far. This is bringing back so many memories of Warhammer of past editions, both fantasy and 40k. No, I didn't say Age of Sigmar, so you're probably guessing what this is dealing with, especially by the title here. But I want to go through, I want to talk a little bit about this because I think this is a massive change. This is going back to how we used to play Warhammer 40k, how leaders used to work in Warhammer 40k, and that is that they can now join squads to personally deliver powerful boons in new Warhammer 40k. This, I think, is the biggest change bar anything we've seen so far, because this really is going to fundamentally change how armies are built, how the game is played. And so, the new edition of Warhammer 40k is bringing some pretty massive changes to the rule. One of the most eye-catching is the way that characters now interact with their subordinates. The powerful aura bonuses that they used to impart on all nearby troops are gone in almost all cases. Obviously, I think, your major characters, so things like your Primarchs, your Chapter Masters, etc. The characters of that level will still provide aura abilities, I think. But these effects were powerful, but with the potential to stack them made balancing the game tricky. So, now, rather than handing out rerolls to everyone and anyone in earshot, your heroes will now join a single squad and act as one cohesive unit. It's an elegant system that helps keep overbuffed super units at bay. Now, sort of. This has its issues, but we'll look through it first before I start going into them. Primarch's Lieutenant, for example, he's core, leader, oath of moment. He gives tactical precision. The model is leading a unit. Weapons equipped that model have the lethal hits ability. Lethal hits, if I remember, I can't remember what lethal hits does. Target priority, the model's unit is eligible to shoot and declare a charge in a turn in which it fell back. This is cool. Take this Primarch's Lieutenant. The first thing to notice is the leader ability, which unlocks the ability to join a squad. This is done before deployment at the same time as transports are allocated to units and are placed in reserve. The leader becomes a permanent member of that unit for the whole battle. Each leader has a short selection of units that they can join, all of them listed on their datasheet. This, I think, is important because this can be really useful for balance, giving you what units you can join. This allows them to take units that are maybe receiving certain buffs out to powerful. This is definitely a good balance system here. And so, for example, a Primarch's Lieutenant can check up with Intercessors, Blade Guard veterans, but leads Gravis Armors, Aggressors, and Heavy Intercessors to his more appropriate equipped colleagues. This definitely seems like we are going to go into a part where Phobos Armor Captains go in Phobos units, Gravis Armor models go in Gravis, and this will probably apply to all the various different forces as well, like Autarchs will be able to lead Aspect Warrior troops with maybe equipment that they've got, and you'll probably be able to see something like a Farseer can't lead Aspect Warriors but can lead Guardians or indeed a Warlock Conclave or something like that for the Eldari. And so, Primarch's Lieutenant, you can see here, Assault Intercessor, Blade Guard Veteran, Hellblaster, Intercessor, and 2 redacted units. One of those, who knows what we can see. But you can attach this model to one of the above units, even if one Captain or Chapter Master has already been attached. If you do, and that Bodyguard unit is destroyed, the leader units attached to it become separate units with their original starting strength. So this does sort of quell part of the thing of potentially characters dying too easily by being parts of units. Wounds are rolled individually, so you would roll for your unit, you would make sure they all die first, and then you would start rolling for your characters, I'm assuming. Now, lethal hits is turned for a modified hit roll of a 6 to automatically wound. So this is pretty cool. That's what lethal hits is, tactical precision. Most of the time, only one leader can join each unit, but as you can see, the lieutenant is an exception and can join the same squad as a superior captain. Plenty of factions have similarly low-rank support leaders, from the Biphagus Surgeons to Warlock Battlessuckers. Yep, this makes sense. So those second-rung characters, those ones that are normally, I guess, in elite slots, or you can take 2 HQ choices for the cost of 1. I think most of those will be what sort of get this additional rule. Now, the old Lookout Sir rule has been devolved into this new system. Your leader is kept safe by their bodyguards and can usually be targeted only when everyone else in the squad has breathed their last breath. Not all characters possess the leader ability, however, independent sorts may still have the lone operative ability, which means they can't be targeted by ranged attacks unless the attacker is within 12 inch. This potent defensive trait is common among the stealthiest specialists in the Warhammer 40k universe, such as the Vindicator Assassins or Commander Shadow Sun. So this is cool. They have made rules that make those characters somewhat protected from ranged attacks. I like it. Now, some characters only gain the lone operative ability while taking shelter near an appropriate unit, such as when Ironfather Ferros is working on an allied vehicle or Lionel Johnson is near a unit of Adeptus Astartes infantry. Such heroes tend to benefit their comrades without leading them, perhaps through aura abilities that boost nearby allies. Now, all this talk of defensive boons highlights one of the core aims of the new edition, making hardy units feel appropriately tough on the battlefield. This is most evident with vehicles, so if you want to see what sort of punishment you'll take in Skimmers, we'll check back later in the week on that. So all in all, there is a few things. This did lead to Death Stars being a thing, but I think the fact that we are going to see very small combos becoming a thing is definitely a benefit of probably restricting the issue we used to have in previous editions of Death Stars, where, you would maybe have a Space Wolves were renowned for this, of having a Wolfguard squad totted out to the nines with, Storm Shields and Thunder Hammers and Lightning Claws and a Wolf Priest joining them and a Psyker joining them and a Captain joining them, and just these Death Stars of Space Marine characters. And indeed, Eldar could do the same thing, of Warlocks with, two Farseers, Eldrad Uthran, and even, maybe even an Autarch joining the squad as well. Death Stars were certainly a thing back in old editions, but I think this ability of only allowing certain character combinations and only allowing one of each major character to join units is definitely going to go a long way to making that not a thing. But this is really interesting. I think this is a huge change, and this could have really big implications for other game systems like Age of Sigmar, if this were to come into Age of Sigmar's next edition as well. So it'd be really interesting to sort of see how that works, because we've tried this sort of protecting characters thing and aura abilities, and maybe this is how we stop, Death Stars with multiple stackable auras. So it'd be really interesting to see where this goes from here for both game systems, I think. But if you've got some thoughts on this, let us know down in the comments below what you think of characters joining units. I'd love to hear from everyone. And so that is the end of the video. We hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Also, drop us a comment down below letting us know what you thought about the video as well. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our great little community here at Sinful Gaming, we have a Discord server, which is linked down in the video's description, and also linked in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel. This can either be by grabbing some channel merch, by going to our Ko-fi store or our Teespring store, or by grabbing some dice from somewhere like the Baron of Dice, where we are sponsored by such a company, or you can go help directly support us by Patreon or YouTube members as well. All of those things are linked down in the video's description. As a special thank you to everyone who does support via Patreon and YouTube members, we'd like to give you all a shout out. So thank you to our Patreons: Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lowe, Alderon Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Cure Dynamic, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Benjamin Swallows, Red Martin, Iron Grinch, Colorblind Magic, Grimscold, and Andy C. And to our YouTube members: Green Roots Gaming, Ronya, Lockloric, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty Tabletop Terrain, Davis Weir, James Tillman, Gargamel196, Disco, and John Castle. Lastly, a special thanks to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing channel artwork for us, and indeed to everyone who helps come on and do the battle reports, and indeed to everyone who helps keep our Discord server a fantastic place for hobbyists to come chat. With that all said, everyone, thank you all for watching. Once again, don't forget to like and subscribe, drop a comment down below. Stay safe, everyone, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.